When they were making Origin Form Dialga, they were like, okay, some people say less is more, but you know what's more than less? More! Hey there, welcome to Go or No,
a show where two queers, that's us, talk about a selection of Pokemon designs and either give them a go or a no if we like or dislike them.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Nick.
And on our last video, we looked at a bunch of Pokemon from the Hisui region in the new Pokemon Legends Arceus. Today, we're going to be hitting every other Pokemon from the Hisui region.
A couple housekeeping reminders. We are very stupid, we are not creature designers, and we have a lot of respect for all of the work and effort it takes to create all of these lovely Pokemon that we know and love. And we're just here to have a little bit of fun while we talk about the ones that we like and dislike.
What we are looking for, ideally, would be regional variants and evolutions that subvert an expectation or do something cool and fun with an iconic Pokemon, or maybe take a Pokemon that really doesn't get a lot of love and attention and make it cool and iconic.
And with that, let's get started. First up, we have... There we go. First up, we have Klever, the Axe Pokemon. As established in a previous video, guns for hands on a Pokemon, hate. Bad. Melee weaponry for hands, good. Love. Live, laugh, cleave, clap, club. I am surprised that I love this. This overall has elements that I'm typically not attracted to in a Pokemon design, but I am a huge fan of Klever. It has made it onto my playthrough team in a shocking turn of events. It entered in the trailer and I said, wonderful, not for me, skip, get out of my life. But then I found an alpha and I was like, he's just like...
An alpha Klever?
An alpha Klever.
Where?
Well, an alpha Scyther.
Different.
Not anymore. People change.
No,
and Scythers, people change, and sometimes people sort of grow out of things that were once a part of their lives. Scyther saw its wings and then said, and then saw its sides and went, it's actually very fan clack. It's Scyther's little fan and then goes into axe.
Yeah.
I love this Pokemon. It takes a sharp left turn from scissor, emphasis on sharp. I can't really nail down why I like this Pokemon. I had a hard time trying to get it. I don't know my words, but I do know my heart.
Yeah, I love this as a new evolution for Scyther. It looks heavy and it looks dangerous. If you have like a Mariah Carey waistline and then like big obsidian weapons for hands, that is non-toxic masculinity in my professional opinion. Please don't quote me on that, it was a joke.
Speaking of non-toxic masculinity, I am not often into Pokemon imagery that evokes facial hair without being facial hair.
Yeah.
This, like, little neckline, goatee, mutton chops into eyebrows made of black stone is incredible. I think they knew that they needed this to be really iconic because it's the logo for the first area, and it is just the silhouette, the very iconic at this point silhouette of Klever with its two big iconic axes.
Yeah.
Klever is a strong go for me, a sharp go.
It is a strong go for me. Lilligant, the spinning Pokemon. Hisuian Lilligant bravely asks the question, what if Poison Ivy from Batman the Animated Series turned Michelle Trachtenberg into a tree while she was filming Ice Princess? Hisuian Lilligant is Jenna Maroney drawing the eye up, meets a little lad that loves berries and cream. It is both absolutely blood-curdlingly threatening and completely benign. Basically, the Pokemon developers asked, what if Lillimon sucked?
That's it?
No, that's really it. I absolutely have nothing else to say about this.
Wonderful. Well, I actually feel very complex about Lilligant overall, much like a Cherubi. My feelings towards Lilligant change depending on night and day and depending on the weather.
That's Cherim.
Much like a Cherim, my feelings towards Lilligant change depending on night and day and depending on the weather. So I knew going into this video, I actually did not write down if I felt like it was a go or no, because it genuinely changes depending on the day. Here's overall what I enjoy. So they gave it legs, and they very much leaned into that. And I do enjoy that that is like why it is a fighting type. I like when there's a new type thrown in if I have a clear understanding of why this Pokemon has that secondary typing where its previous form did not. It's giving Hitmonlee, it's giving My Hero Academia shoot style. I understand what they were going for. Occasionally, it looks like a small cursed Victorian doll, and I am unsettled by it. But also occasionally, it looks like a non-binary Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream, and I'm kind of into that.
From Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, whatever. Like, casting directors are all that progressive. Yeah, overall, I sometimes enjoy this Pokemon. I am also often off-put by this Pokemon.
I gave it a fair chance. I got an alpha, and I had it on my team. I used it for a while. I just grew to resent it more.
I mean, it doesn't have toes, which I do feel like should get, for a Pokemon that whole category was legs.
Kick, leggy feet, leg, kick, yes. I would have liked Ice Grass, and it's literally an ice skater. Because they could have done everything they wanted to do.
Good.
Just save her for last and use, Avalugg earlier. And it would have been really sickening, and it would have been really interesting, and I would have been like, cool, an ice skater. No, it literally just likes to kick. And they literally have a Pokemon that's whole thing is kicking. Gen 1, Hitmonlee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more than one Pokemon can kick.
I don't know about that. Every Pokemon can do one thing. No repeats.
No repeats?
No repeats or hesitations. I will start and you will follow. Anyway, it is a no from me.
It is a go for me today. We cover evolutionary lines together, so we will be covering both Growlithe, the scout Pokemon, and Arcanine, the legendary Pokemon.
No, when I was, as the intern, when I'm like finding all their little names, like it's some of them, like Weirdeer, roll the clip.
Weirdeer, the big, I know. Weirdeer, the big horn Pokemon.
There you go.
Yep. So I'm gonna cut to the chase and say that I'm a big fan. I'm gonna start with Growlithe. These Trixie Martle bangs. Are you kidding? I absolutely love that you can't see its eyes. It's giving cerebellum. It's giving such a good, just small update to the design of Arcanine. And it's different. It has a whole new personality to it, and I really enjoy that. Hisuian Growlithe and Cantonian Growlithe is very much giving like Toxtricity, amped up form and low key form, and this is like the shy queer cousin of regular Growlithe. Its little bib, chef's kiss of the chef. Its little tail, giving Growlithe, but like sort of going in an upward direction, having a little smoke motif, which I will get to, and then Arcanine, 10s across the boards. So when I first saw the Growlithe and Arcanine line, I was a little nervous about the fire rock typing, because again, I've learned now, I learned with Hisuian Decidui that fighting is my least favorite type, and I think I have learned through this generation that rock is my second least favorite type. It's not fun to me. So the fire rock, I was very much like, I don't like where we're going here. But in game, the reveal that it is the guardian of the volcano, I said, sold. I said, that's amazing, and I want 10 of them. They have taken so many little details and just organized it into a way where it just feels a little bit more put together. I love that it is evocative of the legendary Arcanine that's like kind of in Gen 1 in the anime. They're like, yeah, it's like a stone tablet that features the legendary birds and then Arcanine. And I love that this feels reminiscent of that. Its tail being a big plume of smoke because again, it's the volcano Pokemon. Its overall head shape having a bit of a volcano vibe is very, very good. The angular nature to the ruffles on its bib, incredible. It gives me Diet Entei, but in a really good way. As a person who, when I'm ordering a soda, I order a Diet Coke over a regular Coke. I recognize it as just a different spin on the same idea, and you've done something strange with it, and I'm addicted to that, and it's somehow more addictive. That is how I feel about Arcanine, about Hisuian Arcanine.
I could do without the horn, but I'm really obsessed with the tail and the fur on the back legs is smoke, but the mane looks more to me like hardened magma. It's not a big vibe shift, and it's not a big type shift either. I do think that this is an exciting play off of fire type normal Arcanine, and I have to say that I really buy that like the volcano Pokemon over time kind of like moved away from volcano. I take issue with Hisuian Growlithe. I don't like the testicle beard at all. I don't like the horn. And I don't really get rock. If I was designing it, I would have said Hisuian Growlithe, pure rock. And I would have really leaned into rock. And I would have said it evolves into rock fire. Now it's a volcano. And then over time that becomes just both being fire. I think that's some fun lore for the girls, but also this Growlithe to me doesn't give rock. So I would have made it rockier, no horn, no testicles. That's a huge thing. But I see what they're going with the tail. I like that it looks like a little sleepy, silly puppy. You know, I just think that it looks like they made Arcanine and then they went, what do we do for Growlithe? I don't know. And then kind of trying this out.
One more thing back to Arcanine. Its little Icarus wings on its little front paws.
I don't like them.
I'm not gonna keep that part.
You have to do it. I don't like them. Unless we're going to get another Legends game that takes place further in the past, in which Arcanine is like flying. Yeah. In which case, I will eat my fucking words. You can keep this footage.
Kind of a slay. Hisuian Growlithe is a go for me. Hisuian Arcanine is a strong, firm, magma solidified go from me.
Hisuian Growlithe is a no from me. Edit, girls, edit. Hisuian Arcanine, go.
I'll show you an edit.
I wish you would. Oh my god. What? Voltorb, the Sphere Pokemon, and Electrode, the Sphere Pokemon. When I got the notification from Discord that, oh, they've announced a new Pokemon, Hisui and Voltorb, I said, what? But then I watched the trailer video where they showed it to you, and I said, what? The texture doesn't really do it for me. I love this typing, Grass Electric, such a fun typing. The fact that they just sort of Mega Man textured the existing Pokemon, slapped a new type on it, no difference in vibe. This kind of gives me the same, like, we're angry and blow up. And then Electrode, I do not like that its eyes are holes into its head. I absolutely don't like that. I don't like what it's implying. What's in there? If they were going to do this, and I wouldn't have, they should have done something radically different.
Hisuian Voltorb is my perfect round sun. It is quite simple and elegant, and it is perhaps one of my favorite Hisuian forms that we've received in the Pokemon Legends Arceus game. Look, here's the thing. I don't count Rotom. People love to be like, to count every Rotom form as its own like unique typing. Like they're like, oh, well, we already had Grass Electric. I don't count that. Because it is the equivalent.
Nick loves to be like, well, this isn't really like an ice type Pokemon. This isn't really like a grass. You said that for the water ghost too?
Yeah.
About Jellicent? They were like, we don't really have a water ghost.
Because some of these Pokemon, I feel like they start design first and then figure out, I guess we'll add that on. And I'm not saying that actually happened in this line in the Grass Electric. I understand Rotom's shit, but Rotom is its own Pokemon that can like form change into these various things. But this is Grass Electric, and this makes sense.
Grass Electric.
Grass Electric. The regular Voltorb is angry and wants you dead. Hisuian Voltorb is happy and loves you and accidentally kills you. And I think that is very charming and very fun and very cute. Electrode. I say not enough was done. I am with you on Electrode. I am anti-Electrode fervently. And here is why. I think that the overall rather simple sort of palette swap of just like drawing the grain into Voltorb and then just making the eyebrows pop out like this, it is simple and it is to me like overall solid. I am noticing the pupils being holes for the first time and I will say that's not cute.
It's bleak. No. Really get in there. Really.
Well, her I knew I was gonna hate, but I've noticed it now in Voltorb as well, and that's kind of a bummer. Electrode though, I did expect.
Oh my god, I didn't even see, Voltorb's eyes are holes too. Yeah. I love finding new things to hate.
Yeah, shut up. Here's the thing. The gold standard for regional variants is Vulpix to Alolan Vulpix.
Because
all they did was they did a basic palette swap and one minor feature change. Alolan Vulpix eyes are a little more glittery, and then I think it has a slightly poofier hair to it. But then Alolan Ninetales, while overall retaining a lot of the original design, is a Aurora Borealis. That is sort of what it is evocative of, and I wanted that. What I would have loved for Electrode, and it's very easy in hindsight to like say, here's what you should have done, but for Hisuian Electrode, I would have loved engraving upon its thing, like maybe the largest Voltorb in the pack sort of gets these markings on it or something like that. Some sort of cool, stop looking at me scared. I'm trying to make this better for you. I just think that if they made Hisuian Electrode have something new associated with it, it would be cool. However, all it is they said, oh, let's take the exact same design principles that we're applying to Hisuian Voltorb and apply it to just Electrode, which is a bummer. I just wish it was cooler. I wish it was maybe an Ultra Ball, like a different kind of Pokeball or something unique about it.
Like the Gigatron Ball.
Yeah.
Like, because we don't have those anymore.
Gigaton, you'll get dragged.
Gigaton. Not to beat this Pokemon to death, but in the Noble battles, they turn completely yellow, so it just becomes a silhouette. Put it right here. Put it right here, Nick, in editing. Cool.
The Jigglypuff seen from above.
It's an Electrode seen from every angle. It's a no from me, for both.
Hisuian Voltorb, strong go for me. One of my stronger goes. Up there in terms of my feelings towards the Hisuian Pokemon. Hisuian Electrode, huge no. big capital N, capital Hisuian Electrode. No. Avalugg, the iceberg Pokemon.
Is it an ice type?
Officially it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a strong opinion about this because this is the only ice type regional variant we have received in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I will say ice is kind of the go-to. There's been a lot of ice type regional variants. I understand them sort of like letting up on it. However, I was excited for my one. I really would have loved to have used the ice type Hisuian form in my party. And I don't like this. It's big mandible jaws that maybe are fleshy. Unsure. They move in a foil-ish fashion. I also don't understand the storyline. The storyline is unclear to me. I would argue that overall the Pokemon games largely tackle environmental issues in parallel to the real world. So I would have assumed, given, you know, icebergs, they might have done that Avalugg in ancient times were more ice to them. So why are Avalugg ice?
The first dual type, single type Pokemon.
Dual type ice type Pokemon. Yeah. But I don't understand why in the going back it has less ice and why in the future it has more ice. It makes very little sense to me. And the thing that kind of nails it in the coffin is that I actually love the battle with the frenzied Avalugg.
It was, when they were, it was great.
And when they reveal that it is that large, Pokemon, Wailord exists. Make a massive, like Torterra in the Detective Pikachu movie, like massive mountain of a Pokemon and let it follow you around. I don't know why they did not make it just huge, because I would forgive a lot more of the fact that I kind of don't know what I'm looking at. If it at least felt larger than life, there would be something sort of unsettling about that. This, however, when it's small, I look at it and I go, and again, rock, second least favorite typing.
I do like the mandibles because I kind of thought they were like tectonic plates, and I thought that was kind of cool.
It's a strong no from me.
It is a very lukewarm go from me.
Wait, you said go?
I said go. It's a very soft go.
And you hate Hisuian Growlithe?
Yes. Next question. Sliggoo, the snail Pokemon, and Goodra, the shell bunker Pokemon. When I saw Hisuian Sliggoo for the first time, it wasn't spoiled for me. I got to see it in game. Immediately I fell in love. I just think it is such a cute personality. It looks like a dog hanging out of a window and it rolls inside of its shell. That was really cute and exciting. And then I caught it and evolved it. And Hisuian Goodra is normal Goodra, but with a shell that looks exactly like its standard tail. And sometimes it goes inside the shell. But most of the times it doesn't. It's not a big vibe change. There's no like big color change, like visually it's not very different. And typing wise, it's not even that exciting. Dragon Steel is cool, but like not cool enough to excite me about this variant. And that's kind of a huge bummer because I love Hisuian Sliggoo and I love normal Goodra. So my heart's kind of broken at how much of an afterthought this looks like.
I encountered it in game and lost my little mind. It's a hockey puck. So smart too, to just of an element to add to the Gumi Sliggoo Goodra line, because it gives a container for a Pokemon that is like made of goo. Hisuian Goodra I've been on a journey with. I was quite whelmed when I evolved it. I thought I saw a spoiler of this and I saw it in its little shell. I was very excited for that. I actually wish they were brave enough to just make it
It's always in the shell.
It's always in the shell and you just see its little head poking out.
I would have loved it a lot if they had been like this pseudo-legendary, fully evolved dragon scaredy cat. Like this personality of the final evolution, terrified, can't leave its shell, won't leave its shell. I would have eaten that up. They didn't do that.
If they had done like Cophagrigus, where its container contains it, and then its limbs or tendrils fly out of its shell, ooh, would have been so cool. And I've actually spent a lot of time just like throwing the Goodra out if I'm just like chilling in the game and just kind of waiting for it to go into its shell, because that's when I like it the most. I do like though that Hisuian Goodra, a minor change is, and this is just I guess the vibe of Hisui is that they're all just a little stoned. Like the eyes of this Goodra and the attitude are just a little more low key than the typical one.
Hisuian Sliggoo, big go. Hisuian Goodra, like a heartbroken no from me.
Hisuian Sliggoo, absolutely huge go, can't agree more. And Hisuian Goodra is a Hisuian Goodra. Now we hit the girls.
Now the girls who girl.
The girls are about to girl.
The girls are, we are on the precipice of the girling of the girls.
Yeah. We're about to cover the 3 legendary Pokemon of this game, and crucially, I am very new to these 3 designs specifically, because they are the ones that I have scrolled past the most and not really zoomed in on. The first 2, I've done some research on, but the last one, you'll see. Dialga, the temporal Pokemon. Wait.
Temporal?
Temporal?
Temporal.
Temporal.
I think it's temporal.
I think it's temporal.
Well, include this, and then we'll see what people think.
If I Google it and I find out I'm wrong, I'll put yours in.
Yeah,
say Dialga, the
temporal
Pokemon. I love a big swing. Hisuian Electrode. Hisuian Electrode.
The little girl from Bridge to Terabithia on the soon to be the worst day of her entire short life. I love a big swing.
Hisuian Electrode and Hisuian Goodra, Game Freak, cowardly. Cannot believe they did not do something bolder with this design, and I can certainly say that they have done something bold. Oh, to clarify, I believe this is, it's called its primal form, right?
This is origin form.
So the origin form of Dialga, I love that they went for it, because they're a trio of Giratina, Dialga.
You just said, I love their passion.
I love their passion. Dialga and Palkia and Giratina are the legendary trio, and I've always thought it's a little weird that Giratina has its 2-form situation, feels very separate, and this unites them in a way that I really appreciate. Do I think it's great? No, but boy, do they go for it. I mean, I joked about Overquill being maximalist. This is maximalism. Yeah. This is NYU sophomore student who said anything is fashion if you put it on your body. It's heels going all the way up the wazoo. It's weird knee pads that are swords. It's gun of an Adam's apple. They went for it. Yeah. And I can't say anything but that they went for it.
When they were making Origin Form Dialga, they were like, okay, some people say less is more, but you know what's more than less? More! I love that Origin Form for Kyogre and Groudon, they were like...
Oh yeah, the Primal Girlies.
The Primal Girlies, they were like, let's yassify these kaijus.
Yeah, they literally said, let's give them a manicure, but make it go all the way up the body.
All the way up. Drawing the eye.
Draw the eye.
Up. But with Palkia and Dialga, and we'll get to Palkia. Dialga, they said, let's make this complicated. They said, you see a surface? Yeah. Put something on it. Jut something out
Coco
of it.
Chanel says, do not leave the house without putting at least 17 items upon your body.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if those things like are congruent with each other, just as long as they're happening.
It doesn't even matter if they're things.
No. Normal Dialga is canine-like, and then Origin Form Dialga, big ol' forearms, Animal Crossing legs. And then, this is so fucking bonkers, the bejeweled hammer in its neck, which is the same shape as its skull. Why not just let that be the head? Why were they like, you know the head shape and how it's kind of weird? What if we did that in the neck? Wouldn't that be crazy of us?
Because they wanted the diamond in Dialga. That has always kind of, for me, taken a little backseat. It's driving the car.
I do appreciate that they really went for it. I have to say, I look at this and I'm like, that is psychotic, but it is a go for me.
The art of it? Boots, like kind of the house down.
No, I literally look at it and I'm like,
that's cool.
It's like food that you're like, this is bad. This like tastes bad.
It's like, it is a,
can't stop eating it.
Yeah.
It is a go for me.
It's a go. And I really walked into this being like, okay, well clearly the no of the episodes will be this. The more I looked at it, the more I went, look, I say I want them to
completely
take some
unhinged.
Big risks with it, and they did. And a Legendary is the place to do that.
Yes.
Had this been a regular Frenzied Lord or whatever, would have gotten real ugly real quick. Oh god. But it's a Legendary, it's a god. It is beyond comprehension, and I can tell you that I comprehend 0% of this design.
Palkia, the spatial Pokemon. So with Dialga, they were like, let's make this really complicated. And with Palkia, they said, let's make something new. Let's do something unrelated to what Palkia was or could be or might have been at one point. It is a centaur with no arms.
Debatably, a horse with a torso.
There are elements of this that I wish were actually in normal Palkia, because I always felt that Palkia, which is Pearl and Time as like its conceptual base, I always kind of didn't get what Palkia was trying to do. And with this, I feel like they knew exactly what they were going for, and they like pulled the curtains, and I'm just going,
I'm obsessed with this Pokemon.
I hate you.
This was the one I fought in the first Frenzy battle.
Yeah.
Because I picked Team Diamond. I picked the Diamond Clan. So I again, in actually encountering it in game, quite surprised overall at the vibe and the choices. Everything you have said is you are well within your right mind. I don't know what I'm looking at. I am confused. I don't know what questions led to these answers, and I love every second of it. Not only does it not have arms, it does have wings.
Yes.
It also, weird choices. It maintains having 4 limbs between both forms, which I think Dialga does as well.
Yeah, Dialga, they're like, oh, it's still its general shape. It's just like weird and different. Palkia, they said, you are a centaur now, no arms.
Yes, there's something about the Giratina, whichever form change of it going from it is a quadruped or like it is a legged creature to it is a floating sort of sneaky centipede vibe. The fact that its transition is into a very different creature, I feel like Palkia took that same note. I don't know what Palkia in its regular form is, but origin form Palkia, they've gone with a different creature entirely.
Yeah, they did do that. I can't argue with that.
I want to put its big pearl shoulder pads in my mouth.
I like them.
Look like Starbursts. Or what candy is that? Like, I'm literally like, when I say it's sweet, when I say my mouth is genuinely watering.
No, you know what they are? You know what they are? Warheads. That's what they are. That's why my mouth is like on, like,
my mouth is watering looking at Palkia. I love between both of these forms too, the little Arceus corset situation that's given, the waist cincher. I think that's very cute. The Palkia, that's a capital G, capital O. That's a go for me.
This is a no. It's a no. No for me. No.
So our final design we're going to be looking at is the final legendary in the game. Context for me, I have not gotten a firm look at this Pokemon. I know enough. I've scrolled past it on Twitter. I have not zoomed into it. I have taken no notes and taken no time to absorb what this Pokemon is. So Jamie has his notes, but I am going to give my candid reaction to what I have heard is a very controversial Pokemon. So without further ado, Enamorus, the love-hate Pokemon. I really thought I knew what I was getting into, but I didn't.
You can never predict what this is. You cannot predict what this is.
I am seeing a non-binary drag entertainer. Oh God. I'm not gonna lie, from the scrollings I did, I kind of thought the whole thing was a snake body coiled up to this head thing. No, it is a torso. It is the Cloud Koopa from Mario, but gay. There's a second Pokemon attached to this.
That's its tail. That is its tail, Nicholas, and it is present in the Therian form as well, just coiled on top.
Okay, so it becomes a turtle. I'm gonna absorb this. Jamie, what do you think about this Pokemon?
Great, thank you. So this and Sneasler are straight people trying to understand what gay people like. This is straight people going, it's pink. It looks, kind of like maybe a hair? Right, yeah, that's good.
Gay people like when tails do things.
Gay people like when tails do things.
I hear they like
hearts, apom, hearts, snakes. Yeah.
Gay people are snakes, I don't trust them.
Gay people are snakes, I do not trust them. And then the Therian form, it's a turtle, but the way that the mouth, you need a graphic of it zooming in on the mouth, because the more I look at this, the weirder that it gets. Can't deal with any part of it.
It really looks like it's gonna talk to you. Like a lot of
and say bad things.
A lot of humanoid Pokemon like sometimes communicate psychically, like Mewtwo. You don't really see Mewtwo open its mouth and like chit chat. This thing has a vocal cord or two in its little neck. Is one form supposed to represent love and the other supposed to represent hate? Because they both look like they represent hate.
So to me, if it's love, hate, it's like lovely, 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 but everything about it is hideous, dangerous, and aggressive. That to me is, if that was the concept you wanted, I don't think they even did that successfully. Like, nothing about this is enticing. It's the hate Pokemon.
I wouldn't say nothing. You can't say she didn't start a conversation.
I want you gone. I want you fucking gone.
I mean...
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. What do you think? What do you think, Nicholas?
Incarnate form, Enamorus, is a no. Therian form is a go.
Incarnate form is from the bottom of my heart a no. But Therian form, right fucking next to it, it's a no.
They
said we need a genie, but the girl kind.
It's Snaketail is a face too. It's going like this.
I wish they hadn't done this. I'm going somewhere with this. I wish they hadn't.
I see where you're going.
I wish they hadn't done this. And then I wish that there was a new mythical Pokemon like Shaman, where they're like, this one's just cute. You know, this one's just kind of cute and like hangs out. And it was this Snaketail, but it was just actually a snake. And it was like the love snake, and it binds people together.
A little snake mythical.
A little mythical snake that has the love eye. All you would have to do, just put a little eye. Other than that, it could be very simple. And the lore is that it like when two people fall in love, the snake is like wrapping itself around them, bringing them together. I would have bought that. I would have thought that was cute. I would have thought that was simple. I would have thought that was fun.
And you could even do hate, because it could be when two people hate each other. It's really like...
It's like keeping you together. You can't get the space. You're fighting.
Yeah, because you're fixated. You're enamored.
They didn't do that, though. They did this.
And now it's time for the goest and the gayest. And the goest Pokemon of the week is Dialga.
Yes, he's back in the house. He's like cracking about. Find fresh feminine style to 11
I'm like, wow!
Look, I'll know my words if I have to do the number. Sometimes more is more. Sometimes more is more.
And we certainly got more.
Yeah. The gayest Pokemon this episode is Lilligant. No, Mom, I'm giving up your dream.
Probably has a mouth.
My muffin top is all that whole grain low fat.
The video of the little girl's Flutterby Fairy Barbie toy into the fire.
That child you babysat who sleepwalked like a lot.
Mimi Tachikawa, your days are numbered.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see.
Today we are adding a couple of tips on what we recommend for starting your own mutual aid fundraiser on your personal social media. Reminder, we have little assets attached that are particularly good for Instagram stories.
Yes, and if you're gonna use your Instagram story, video is great. Put your face on there, use your voice. You know, we wanna move people to be involved, we wanna stay positive, very go team, you know?
And reminder, you wanna keep the algorithm to like you, so keep it short and sweet and make it your goal for someone to very passively and easily finish your video.
We can help cover bills for people that need them right now. Stuff like rent, stuff like food, stuff like medication or electricity. And we can do it, we really can.
And with that, thanks for watching Go.
Or no.
Ba, ba, ba. Ba.